What up, guys? It's Fernando back with another SmackDown recap and review. Today we'll be going over the April 3rd episode, and boy, it was a weird one. It felt off. It wasn't as bad as last week's, but it was weird. Let's get into it. The show started off with Randy coming to the ring, cutting a promo, basically saying that what he said the past few weeks, that he's here for championships and that he's doing all this for himself, not for the people, and for his the 6 people in the front row who were his wife and daughter and his sons. So he's basically doing it for him and his family only. So he goes on to say that, and Cody Rhodes' music hits, and him and Cody immediately comes to the ring and start fighting with Randy. Cody begins to get the upper hand, gets Randy to the corner, starts punching on him. And then, randomly, we get Pat McAfee. He comes in and low blows Cody Rhodes with a kick and begins to cut a promo, essentially saying that him and Randy are going to bring the business back, and make it better, like how it used to be. And he's cutting promo all while in the meanwhile, Randy's just beating the shit out of Cody with a steel chair. Now this, it was weird. It was really weird. Pat McAfee just comes out and says that he's the one on the phone with Randy Orton the past few weeks, telling him that he needs to bring this side out of him and yada yada yada. And he goes on to absolutely go into WWE. He goes in basically calling WWE soft. Emphasizes that the ticket sales for WrestleMania are low, saying that he's bringing back the Attitude Era and all that kind of stuff. He even called out the ratings for last week's show and how they've been down. So it was really good seeing them bring that, WWE acknowledging that and bringing that to the forefront of this rivalry. And I think the promo was really good. Now the only issue is coming from Pat McAfee. I'm gonna be optimistic about this. I really think Pat McAfee genuinely cares about the business. It's not gonna be like a Travis Scott scenario where he doesn't care. They just bring him in because of his star power, and then he just leaves, and this goes absolutely nowhere. This has legs. This has somewhere to go because Pat McAfee is here to stay, and as much as people don't want to believe it, he will put out good product. He cuts good promos. He's gone in the ring, and he's felt the pain from being in the ring. So I don't think this is as bad as people think. Yes, it's a little odd. I was completely shocked, and when I saw that it was him, I was pissed off at first until he cut that promo. He's basically saying that him and Randy are going to save the WWE. I'm just struggling to find my words right now because it was really confusing. But I think the most people are just mad at the fact that it's Pat McAfee, which I can totally agree with. And the only issue I have is that this could have been any other person, any other superstar, and if they cut that promo, that same exact promo, the world would absolutely lose their mind and they would be in love with it. But just because it was Pat McAfee, people are not with it. So I agree with them. I agree with that. So I'm willing to be optimistic and give this time and let this develop over the next 2 weeks and even possibly after Mania. Really confusing, really weird way to start the show. Next up, we have Rhea versus Michin. This was actually a really good match. I don't care. Next, we have Uncle Howdy versus Tama Tonga. Don't care either. And then we get where I thought, WWE got me. They really did. I thought that this show was gonna get interesting. We have Sami Zayn is scheduled to come out, and Trick Williams just ends up stealing the show with it. He goes out, steals his showtime, steals his promo, does all that, and Sami comes out and says he's going to humble Trick, and Carmelo comes out. Now I'm thinking WWE's got something. They've done something right. WWE did the right thing. They're going to make this into a triple threat match or even give the belt back to Carmelo. Carmelo comes out, challenges Sami Zayn to a match, and Sami Zayn says no, he'll do it after Mania, that he's earned this and that blah, 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 blah. And basically Melo keeps nagging him, and he gives him the match for the main event of tonight's show. So I'm thinking, wow, this is what everyone wanted, and the crowd was eating it up, chanting, "We want Mello," booing the hell out of Sami Zayn. I thought WWE was really going to do the right thing. Then we get Aleister Black versus Matt Cardona. Aleister Black hits a Black Mass out of nowhere. Again, I really just don't know what to make of this show. I don't care. I really don't care, and we're 2 weeks away from Mania. I don't give a shit. This meant absolutely nothing to me. And then we get to something actually pretty good. We had a match between Charlotte and Alexa Bliss versus Lyra and Bayley. This match it was pretty good. It was really back and forth. It started off with Charlotte and Alexa working Lyra for the majority of the match. There's a lot of fake finishes here. And then to my surprise, we actually got a decisive winner. Alexa ends up pinning Lyra, and but like the past few weeks, rinse and repeat. The Irresistible Forces come out and attack them, and they stand tall at the end of the match. The match was good overall. I really liked it. I liked really a decisive winner. I didn't like it ending. I liked it not ending in a disqualification. So we got that, and what this really put into perspective for me was they've got all these damn resources into this tag match at Mania, and I'm glad for it. I just can't wait for something for them to split. One of these teams has got to split up because we have so many main eventers that need to be put back in the main event because that is really struggling. This just really put it into perspective for me. We need some of these main eventers. Either Charlotte, Alexa, Bayley. Hell, I think Lyra Valkyria is a main event just because whatever happened at SummerSlam, and I thought that her Intercontinental feud with Becky was the stepping stone for her to go onto that next level, and WWE just haven't pushed her like I thought they would. But I believe she's a main eventer. So we have these 4 main eventers in my opinion, and we put them all in a tag match, which is good, hyping this up. But the main event scene really needs these women in it, and they need it in it now. So after weeks and weeks and weeks and months of building this up, it's going to culminate at Mania. I'll give this a thumbs up. I actually enjoyed something. And then we got to the funnest match of the night. It was an impromptu match from the beginning of the show. R-Truth basically gets confused and challenges The Miz and Kit Wilson to a tag team title match. Now this match was just absolutely electric in my opinion. I was laughing through it all. It starts off, they're working Truth. Waiting for the hot tag for Damian Priest, essentially. That ends up happening, and then in the middle of the match, Danhausen's music hits, and the place absolutely erupts. Now Danhausen comes to the ring, gets on The Miz and Kit Wilson's, and goes for a tag. And The Miz is wondering what the heck he's doing, and doesn't tag him in. Well, Truth, being R-Truth, he tags Danhausen. So Danhausen comes into the ring, and The Miz starts getting mad at him. And in the middle of the match, Danhausen points at the crowd and begins to curse The Miz, where The Miz pulls the referee, Dan Angler, I believe who it was, in front of him, and Dan Angler gets cursed. So after that, Danhausen's apologizing to the referee, and Miz goes for a skull crushing final, and the lights go out, and Danhausen does this funny little run up the entrance ramp. He escapes. Kit Wilson slides in the ring, gets attitude adjustment by Truth, and then Truth turns around and is going to get skull crushing finale. Gets skull crushing finale by The Miz, and I'm like, we got new tag team champs. This is crazy. I really thought they were taking the titles off him that quickly. And Dan Angler's going for the 3 count, and on 3, his arm locks up magically. I don't know how. Maybe it was the curse. It was the curse. It had to have been the curse. And boom, he doesn't get the 3 count. R-Truth's able to tag Priest in, and he hits the solid heaven for The Miz and ends up pinning him. Now, I thought this was absolutely genius. And from the beginning, this match had an A+ written all over. I just knew it was going to be good. I knew some shenanigans were going to go on, and that's exactly what happened. Now, WWE just kind of threw it together, but the thing about this match is these are all great personalities that everyone loves. Everyone respects The Miz. Kit Wilson is over like a motherfucker. Everyone loves him. Obviously, Truth, and then Damian Priest is always just going to be a solid addition. And then the most over person, Danhausen, and you just throw them all together in a mismatch of a match. At the last second, you throw them all in the match, and they work magic. It's not serious. Obviously, it's comedy wrestling, but the crowd was eating it up the whole entire time. I thought this match was absolutely brilliant. It was great. And I'm just so happy for all these guys. I don't know what they're going to do with Kit Wilson and Jelly Roll. I don't know if last week was it. Like, they just had that one-off match. But I really love this pairing between Kit Wilson and The Miz. This can go on absolutely forever. And you can fit Danhausen into anything. And with R-Truth being part of the tag team champions, you can fit him into absolutely anything. I think we have struck gold with all these pairings and all these, and then meshing all these superstars together. This was great. I absolutely loved it, and I'll give this a plus, double thumbs up for this match and all these performers. And then right at the end of this match, Kid Wilson's getting up, and we have Cody Rhodes come to the ring and crossroads him, and he goes absolutely off. Went off on Pat McAfee, saying he had the highest numbers in recent memory, talking about how the success of WWE with him as the leader. And by the numbers, you can't really disagree with it and all that, but by product-wise, that has a lot to be desired. But I thought this promo was really good. It showed Cody being absolutely unhinged. People really love that. The only problem is he's being unhinged on Pat McAfee. Like, I just don't really know what to think of it. I have no idea what to think of all this, because I know Pat McAfee's going to put out a good product, but it just doesn't seem serious enough because it's just Pat McAfee. And for it to be the main story in the main event of WrestleMania just doesn't sit right, but I want to be positive about it. I really just have no idea what to think about this. I'm excited to see where it goes. I think it will eventually do good, but it's just, I can see people's problems with what's going on. So overall, I'll give this unhinged Cody promo a thumbs up. Glad to see him back, and we'll probably be getting this version of Cody in the next couple weeks before Mania, which I'm glad. And then we get to the end of the show. Now, this is fucking horrible. We had the United States Championship match between Carmelo Hayes and Sami Zayn. It starts off them going back and forth. Carmelo goes for a front flip over the rope and tweaks his knee. Now, this will play on into later in the match. They keep continuously going back and forth. It's an okay match. And Melo tweaks his knee going for a nothing but net. He gets into the corner, and the referee's like, stop. And Sammy takes advantage of him and hits him with the haluva kick and wins the match. And this is just fucking awful. The crowd, I love the crowd. They're saying Sammy sucks. They were booing him every time he was trying to get offense off. It was great. But they still just run Sammy versus Trick at WrestleMania. No, I've jumped off the ship. It's official. Sami Zayn has now entered my fucking hate list. I cannot stand watching him perform. He is just awful, and he is so goddamn annoying. Everything he does is so goddamn annoying. I wanted this vicious side of Sammy, like he was in the past few weeks, hitting those water bottles and all that. But I didn't want it to be at the expense of Carmelo Hayes. And WWE just ruined it. They ruined the vicious side of Sami Zayn. They ruined the United States Championship match. They ruined Carmelo Hayes. This was fucking pathetic. Sami Zayn does not deserve to be on this WrestleMania card whatsoever. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care. He doesn't deserve shit. He hasn't done nothing besides the earlier title run, the United States title run. He doesn't deserve anything. And Carmelo Hayes obviously deserves a spot, and I'm not the only one that thinks that. But I'm going to think of something positive. I'm going to put this out there. Maybe they had Sami Zayn take the title off Carmelo Hayes just so they could have Trick Williams take it off of Sami Zayn. I just hope that he's just a path for Trick Williams to get the title without having Trick Williams pin Carmelo Hayes. That's basically, I'm basically hoping they're not trying to waste the Carmelo and Trick feud and just cough it up in 2 weeks and throw it together in the last 2 weeks, because I feel like they know that it would be good to have a Carmelo versus Trick feud, and they just have Sammy out there to take a pin from Trick. I'm hoping that is the case. I'm hoping he just drops it at Mania, and then we get Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams later down the line. That's what I'm trying to take out of this, because this was bad. Everything about this was bad, and Sami Zayn is just awful. So overall, I thought this SmackDown wasn't as bad, but after really going over and talking with you guys, this was trash. I mean, this was really bad. Besides the Cody promo, the Miz and Kit Wilson and Truth and Priest match, I really don't know what to think about it. I think Pat McAfee will do good, but this show was bad, and I think most people would agree. So we'll wrap this up. I'll get to y'all next week. I am out of it. I don't know what to think, but thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time.